Hi everyone, this is our spelling test for Monday the 11th of May on the ear words you learnt last week. You might have found them quite easy, so I'm going to make the spelling test a little bit harder. So rather than just telling you which word you need to write down, I'm going to describe what the word means and then you write that word down, making sure it's one of the ones you learnt last week. Okay, so let's start with number 1. Okay, the first word I'd like you to spell is the name of the four-legged animal we associate with Christmas. That's number 1. The four-legged animal we associate with Christmas. Number 2. Name the person who designs, builds, and creates machines or structures or engines. What's the person who designs and builds machines or structures or engines? Write that job title down. Number 3. Don't forget to press pause after each one. Number 3. What's another name for a job? It might be more than a job. It might describe a job that you keep and you develop over a long period of time. That's number 3. Number 4. What is the name of the verb where you freely offer to do something without being paid? It can also be a noun. It can be a person who freely offers to do something without being paid. What's that word? Number 5. What's the word that means that you guide or control the movement of a vehicle? What are you doing when you're guiding or controlling the movement of a vehicle? And finally, number 6. What do you say if you are shouting insults at somebody? What's that word? It's a verb, to shout insults at somebody. Okay, once you've done that, go back to the sheet from last week and mark them. I'd like to hear your mark out of 6. You can comment on Firefly or send me an email. But don't press pause, but then come back to the video because I'd like to explain this week's words and pattern. So press pause now, mark your test, and then come back to this recorded video. Okay, let's continue by looking at our new words for this week. Okay, this week we're going to look at how we can create adjectives using a particular suffix. So here's the slide again. This week we're going to look at how we can create adjectives using a particular suffix. Suffix is full. Suffix, remember, are a group of letters you put on the end of a word to change its meaning. And this suffix literally means full of, okay? But normally when we write full, like here, it's double L, but when you stick it on the end of a word, it just has one L, and that's where some people go wrong, okay? We'll look at how the full suffix can be added to nouns or verbs to create adjectives. Okay, I've got a couple of examples here that I want to show you. Most root words remain the same when full is added. So this is a root word here, boast, which can be a noun or a verb. When you add full to it, it just makes boastful, nice and easy, okay? And that word means full of boasts and self-importance. Okay, and if a root word ends in a Y, like beauty, which can be a noun or a verb, well, that's a noun, that one, not a verb. It usually changes into an I when you add full. So we've got beauty as a noun, sorry, not a verb. When we add full to it, it becomes beautiful with an I, F-U-L, and we know what beautiful means. Okay, so beautiful. So if it ends in a Y, it changes normally to a Y, okay? But most of our examples today are going to be like the one at the top, which is nice and straightforward. So here are our full words. You can see here there's just 6 of them. Don't forget you need to know what they mean and be able to use them in a sentence. Are you able to speak a sentence with these words in that makes sense? If you can't, just use this dictionary website and it'll give you a definition, it'll read the word for you and it'll help you to understand the meaning. There's 2 activities today. One is on Firefly, it's a PowerPoint. Instead of it being actual hangman, where you guess the letters in the word, every time you guess the wrong letter it knocks a skittle down, so it's a bit nicer than a man being hung. But that's the first activity, so give that a try. And the second one is further down on this actual sheet, and it's this here, and it's code cracking. Okay, so literally the words that you're learning, plus there are some extra full words that we're not learning but that are on this sheet. And if you're able to and you're doing well with your spellings, you're very welcome to learn these extra words as well. The answers are on the 3rd sheet, but try not to look, try and do this without. And just by going through each letter at a time using this code, it'll help you. It'll just be it's another way of helping to learn the order that the letters go in to make up each word to spell it. Okay, so good luck with this work. Please get in touch with me if you need to ask anything or you need to show me your work.